Guys, what is going on? We are live, and thank you for being patient. Welcome to my early morning review for last night's Monday Night Raw. As you can see here, bright and early, 7:30. Got my cup of coffee.
That's the best way you can ever start a day. As the Macho Man Randy Savage once said, I gotta have my cup of coffee.
And I got the caffeine boiling, broiling, whatever word you want to use. Oh, it's true. It's damn true. But talking about Raw from last night, February 12th, 2018 edition. This was a good show. For the third week in a row, I enjoyed Monday Night Raw. Since Raw 25, they've come out of the gate with shows that have been building nicely towards Elimination Chamber, which is a pay-per-view that I eagerly await. Has potential to be very good on paper. A number of matchups up and down the card. So I give credit to WWE when it's due. Thank you for giving me a good pay-per-view. Hopefully it'll deliver. So we have a lot to talk about coming out of this show. A lot happened. It was a good show. Didn't really drag at all. See, I'm okay with three. Again, I make the point. If you're going to do 3 hours and you utilize it to give us good matches, some storytelling, and a nice payoff at the end, I'm all for it. So I give credit to WWE when it's due. So without further ado, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. So we kicked off Raw with the one, the only. Some of you love him, some of you hate him. I'm talking about John Cena. John Cena came down, and in his promo, he essentially talked about it's that time of year again. It's WrestleMania. WrestleMania can make a star, and it can even, he said this, bring back a star from the dead. I think we all know what Cena was talking about here, but let's be honest, I'm sure some of you out there want to see that match. I have no interest in seeing Cena versus The Undertaker at this point. To me, that match, if it was going to take place, could have happened at 32 last year. Just in the condition that The Undertaker was in last year, I don't really want to see it unless Undertaker can get himself in better shape. So we'll see. I still think we'll see that match. I don't know how to feel about that, but I'm just like, the way he left everything in the ring, literally all his garment and his hat and his gloves, to me, that was the perfect way to write off that character, and I'd hate for him to come back and kind of renege on that. So we'll see where this goes, but I thought that was interesting that Cena dropped that there. He said, talking about being in the Elimination Chamber, how he's going to win, and then he will face Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. This, of course, brings out The Miz. Miz and Cena go back and forth here on the mic. It was entertaining. It was enjoyable. Miz saying that he's going to be the first guy to win the Universal and Intercontinental Championships. Well, he has the IC Championship. He's going to be the first to hold the Universal and Intercontinental Championships. And it eventually led to Cena and Miz going back and forth here on the mic. And the whole point of this was to set up a match between The Miz and Cena. And the winner, or actually I should say the stipulation was the loser, would be the first entrant in the Elimination Chamber match. So we had a match here between Miz and Cena. Kurt Angle made the match official. It was a good match, actually. It was better than their main event match at WrestleMania 27. Believe it or not, I was not a fan of that match at all. But Cena and Miz, Miz has come a long way. He's improved. Cena is where he's at this point in his career. And Miz kicked out of an AA. Cena kicked out of the skull-crushing finale. There was a couple, figure four attempts by the Miz. Cena was able to counter out. Miz was able to get out of the STFU. And then, of course, Miz looks like he's going to hit a skull-crushing finale from the top rope, which would have been badass. But Cena countered, launched Miz into a super AA, and beats the Miz. So the Miz will be the first entrant in the Elimination Chamber. You know what would make this entire match and segment completely pointless? If Cena was number 2. Don't do that. Just don't do that. So good match here. Nice opening promo to set up Raw. And a match with stakes. Ooh, what a concept. We had Luke Gallows and Carl. Before I talk about this match, the graphics on the screen with the Nerdometer, and I know they're doing this shit on SmackDown. Delete, 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 delete. Yes, it is deleteful. It made my list. Yes, it was that bad. Enough with the Adobe After Effects. to me, it just is annoying. And somebody brought up a good point. We know these promos are scripted as it is. This just further reinforces that point. So please stop with the graphics on the screen. It just looks like a 3-year-old did it. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson versus the Revival. Before the match, the Revival attacked Anderson and Gallows as they made their way to the ring. Hit some chop blocks on them. Come back from commercial break. These two actually had a nice little tag team match here. Dawson and Anderson, or Dash and Dawson, I should say, hit Anderson with the Shatter Machine for the win. So it's nice to see the Revival pick up a win here. Hopefully they move into tag title contention. You know, you got them. You got Titus Worldwide, who's actually growing on me. I like the promo they did tonight. So we'll see where they go. You got The Bar. You got Gallows and Anderson, Slater and Rhino. You throw in Authors of Pain there. You got a pretty solid tag team division right there on Raw. So nice to see the Revival pick up a win, as they're one of my favorite tag teams in all of WWE. So hopefully they stay healthy and get some momentum back on their side. After this, we move on to Kurt Angle. He was going to give us an injury update here on his son, Jason Jordan. As we all know, Jason Jordan last week in storyline was sent home by Kurt Angle. He was dealing with some neck injuries, and in real life, he had to get surgery. So hope Jason Jordan rests and heals up. Hopefully everything will be all right, depending on how long he will be out of action for. We don't know. Sucks if he has to miss WrestleMania, especially considering, you know, he wasn't on last year's card, so it would have been his first WrestleMania. So that's never easy, but, you know, rest up, heal up, and come back stronger than ever. There's some cliches for you. But we had Kurt Angle, like I said here. He came down to the ring to, you know, give us the update on Jason Jordan, and, you know, we had the second chance fatal 4-way here later on in the night, and eventually Seth Rollins would come down to ringside, and Seth was pretty much irate. He was like, well, you know, where am I going to be at WrestleMania? I don't have a tag team partner. Kurt was like, well, do you want another? You want to find a partner? You can have another tag team, you know, I'll give you another tag team championship opportunity. Rollins is like, put me in the Elimination Chamber, Kurt. Put me in that fatal 4-way qualifying match and make it a fatal 5-way. So I like this segment where it, you know, led to Rollins being added into the fatal 5-way, you know, kind of raised the stakes for that match, because it was kind of predictable, I think, and Balor winning, I think we could all assume that. But with the addition of Rollins, you know, it kind of threw us for a curve there, and I always like that. So kudos to WWE doing that. So yeah, later on in the night, we would have a fatal 5-way to determine who goes into the Elimination Chamber, the 6th and final spot. And I thought Rollins shined here really nicely. It was nice to finally see some, you know, character development for Seth. You know, he's put on good matches, but, you know, let's get some more development on his character so you can get behind him as a baby face. You know, that's what I feel he's missing at this point. So this certainly helped. And they want to go in the direction of Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins. I'd be all for that at WrestleMania. Hell, you want to do Finn Balor, Seth Rollins? You do a triple threat between all three for the Intercontinental Championship. There's a number of different opportunities and potential at WrestleMania. So that's what I like. A lot's up in the air, and coming out of Elimination Chamber, I think we'll have a clearer picture. Also, can't forget this. How could I forget this? Kurt Angle announced that Ronda Rousey will be signing her Raw contract at the Elimination Chamber. So that's fucking awesome to see. I can't wait to see Ronda Rousey back in WWE. I'm sure made her debut at the Rumble, and the road to WrestleMania will officially begin, and I can't wait. So we had Bayley and Sasha Banks. They had a really good match. Are you surprised? No, I'm not. These two, they just have great chemistry. They just know each other so well. And to this day, they still put on one of the best matches I've ever seen live. I had the privilege of seeing for NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. I'll never forget the night that Bayley and Sasha Banks stole the show. They stole the whole damn weekend. And it was incredible just to be in the building for something like that. So Bayley was able to get back up on her feet, go up to the top rope. She hit the Bayley to belly for the win. And holy shit, A babyface wins in their hometown. Wow, that actually helps them in the long run. So before you'd assume that they'd lose. It's nice to see the baby faces winning in their hometown. Bayley actually got a nice pop tonight. One of the better pops that I can remember her getting in recent memory. She had a good outing against Asuka. She got a win here over Sasha Banks. They teased afterwards, maybe Sasha turning heel on Bayley. I thought, oh shit, she's gonna snap here in her hometown. This is the time and place. And before you know it, bam, out comes Nia Jax. She flattens both of them, puts the attention on her, talking about, how, over the past 2 weeks, Banks and Bayley took Asuka to the limit. And Jax destroyed them in a matter of seconds, and how Nia Jax is going to do the same thing to Asuka at the Elimination Chamber. So I like how they tied that all together. Tease the Sasha Banks heel turn. So a lot accomplished out of this, and we got a good match. So all in all, good stuff tonight with the women. Speaking of, we had a tremendous promo package for Asuka, talking about how long she's been undefeated, which is a record number of days. I mean, it's really incredible. It truly is. Asuka is the Empress of Tomorrow and the future, either Raw or I'm saying SmackDown Women's Champion. So great video package here for Asuka. We had Reigns and Rollins, talking about how Reigns said he hoped Rollins gets into the match so Reigns can eliminate him, just like he did at the Royal Rumble. Tying that all together, I like that. Then the Bar come in and they make fun of Rollins and Reigns challenges Sheamus to a match later on in the night. So we had that later. We had a nice little backstage interview with Titus Worldwide. Got to see some personality out of Apollo Crews. I knew he had it. We could see more of that going forward. Like I said, I like them as a tandem, as a team. So we'll see where they go. I think them as a tag team is the right decision and right move going forward. We had Mickie James and Alexa Bliss backstage. Mickie kind of, saying, Alexa basically was, they were teaming up against Absolution, Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. And she says, Bliss, that is Mickie, I don't know what you're up to. I don't know what you're trying to do. I knew what Alexa was trying to do. She was trying to kiss Mickey's ass, and your mother, and, you're a WWE superstar, and we could be teammates. Basically, Alexa's trying to get an ally out of Mickie James. She knows they used to be friends, in the past, storyline-wise. And then, come Elimination Chamber time, Alexa, she's a good shot of losing that championship. So why not go in there, have an ally, and then stab him in the back? So, yeah. Mickie going for the Raw Women's Championship. Hey, I'd love to see Mickie hold that Raw Women's Championship going into WrestleMania. I think it would be a nice win for her. So, yeah, we'll see. Mickie James and Alexa Bliss took on Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose really impresses me. I want to see her and Goldust as an act make that happen. WWE stuff on the Mixed Match Challenge, what I saw, very good. I just think they have something there with Mandy Rose and Goldust. Rose Dust, as I like to call him. So you want to dissolve Absolution. I don't know what Paige is doing. Like, is she retired? Is she not? I'm assuming she is. I just don't know anymore. So, but I think Mandy Rose and Goldust going forward, there's a lot of potential there. I think they can make a really fun act on television. But Mandy Rose hit the Angel's Wings on to Mickie James. There we go. And afterwards, Deville and Rose beat down James, but Alexa Bliss helps make the save. So we'll see where this alliance, short-lived alliance between Mickie James and Alexa Bliss goes. So moving on here, this was great. So we had Elias come out. He said he was going to sing an Elimination Chamber blues song. So he starts singing, and we all know what WWE stands for. It stands for Walk with Elias. And if only I had some crappy graphics to go up here on the screen that would take away from what I'm saying here. God, don't you just love when WWE... Please don't do that with Elias and stuff. Do not put graphics up on... Do not WWE, you hear me? Or you will make the list. So as he's singing his song, there's a spotlight, and the crowd pops, and Braun Strowman has a big-ass double bass. It's this huge instrument. Strowman, he broke a string as he was trying to play it, and he sings. He says, Elias says he's going to win, but we all know that ain't true. You look at me, boy, when he's singing, because he's not finished with you. You may not know it and you may not realize it, but when the song is over, you're going to get these hands. It's funny, the string. I didn't even know. The string broke when Strowman played this big-ass double bass. And he tries to walk down to the ring, leaves the bass on the side. Elias sneak attacks him. That was a bad idea. Strowman hits him with the running power slam. Elias tries to hit Strowman with his guitar. Like I said, lays out Elias with the running power slam. And as Elias is trying to crawl way up on the entrance ramp, Strowman takes the double bass and deletes it by hitting Elias with it. Fun segment. It's kind of pointless in the long run, but hey, who gives a shit? I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was enjoyable. Once again, Braun Strowman, one of my favorite parts of Monday Night Raw and one of my favorite superstars to watch. And he is my pick. I'll say it right now, my pick to win the Elimination Chamber. So good stuff right here between Strowman and Elias. We had Cesaro with Sheamus taking on Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns versus Sheamus. I didn't see this match. I was kind of really tired last night, so I kind of fell asleep during it. Sheamus dove over the top rope. Off the top rope, I should say. Into a spear. Reigns gets the win. So Roman kind of not really doing much on this episode of Monday Night Raw. Heading into the Elimination Chamber, and then we head into our Fatal 5-Way match. Fun main event. Woken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor versus Apollo Crews versus Seth freaking Rollins. But everybody had nice shine here, whether it was from Bray Wyatt, Apollo Crews, I thought had a really good outing. Rollins, his suicide dives over the top rope. So as Wyatt is trying, towards the end of the match, as Wyatt is trying to suplex Crews off the top, Balor and Rollins hit the Tower of Doom. They're all in the corner, and Wyatt and Crews, they all fall down, and Balor and Rollins pin the Eater of Pins, Bray Wyatt, at the same time. Controversy ensues. I'm thinking, what the hell was that finish all about? They just go off the air here. I kind of like when it's like that. Oh, that was such a good match, but that finish, it was confusing. I don't know what's going to happen. So Kurt Angle later announced on Facebook, so I'm glad I'm doing this review later on, we're going to have the first ever 7-man Elimination Chamber match. Balor and Rollins are in. So I'm like, okay, that's intriguing. That's different. Let's see how that goes. I mean, I'm glad both guys are in there, as they should be. So yeah, I thought this was a really good episode of Raw. Like I said, 3rd week in a row, I really enjoyed Raw. So once again, I give kudos to WWE when they put on a good show. I will say it. And real quick here before we go off the air, let's check the Twitter poll that I put up here on my very slow computer, which will be updated soon. Can't wait to get a new one. You guys agree, 14 votes. Thank you for participating at Daniel Guys of 412 on Twitter. 71% thumbs up, 29% thumbs down. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Monday Night Raw, guys. Thank you for being patient. I apologize for not getting the review up live last night. I was just really tired. I didn't want to give you a half-assed review, so I figured I'd wait till tomorrow morning. So that is my thoughts and opinions. Guys, be sure to leave your comments down below for what you thought of Monday Night Raw. Be sure to click my like and subscribe button here on youtube.com/DanielGuys412. And be sure to check me out on Twitter at DanielGuys412 for all my latest thoughts and tweets. So until then, guys, thanks for watching this video and have a great rest of your day. Take care.